Hello everyone, welcome to DC Minds. In this video, we are going to learn about another smart pointer called shared PTR, which is introduced in C++11. In previous video, we saw a smart pointer called unique PTR, and the limitation of that is we cannot have multiple owner for the same memory. Okay, so now with the help of this shared PTR, we can create multiple owner for the same memory location. Okay, so we use shared PTR when we want to have multiple owner for the same memory. Okay, and it is based on the concept of reference counting. Okay, so it means if there are multiple owner for the same memory, then reference count will be more. Basically, if there is only one owner, then at that time reference count will be 1. If it is two owner for the memory, then the reference count will be 2. And this memory that is held by this shared pointer will get deleted only when all the owners will go out of the scope, or when the reference count becomes 0. Okay, now let's see how we can create a smart pointer using this shared PTR. Okay, so here, to create a smart pointer with the help of this shared PTR, first we need to include the header file called memory.h or just memory. Okay, and here we'll give the first shared PTR, and then the type of memory, basically the data type, int, char, float, or any user defined type also you can give, and then the name of the pointer, and then using new will allocate the memory. And if you want to assign some value to that memory, then you can give the value this way. Okay, so if you run this program, you will get output like this. Okay, so this is one way you can create the pointer, basically memory, allocate the memory using a smart pointer. So in this case here, just we are creating the memory, or we are allocating the memory using this smart pointer at runtime, and we are not deleting it because it will get deleted automatically as it is a smart pointer. Okay, so now let's see another way of assigning, creating and assigning the value to that memory using a smart pointer. So in this case, first we are creating the pointer and assigning the memory to that pointer, and then we are assigning the value by using dereferencing, and then we are printing. So this will also give the output like this. There is another way we can achieve the same thing like this. So here we are using get function of this shared PTR. So this get function, what it does is it gives the address of the memory that is pointed by this pointer, and then using dereferencing we are assigning the value. So this will also give the output like this. So these are the various way we can assign the memory some value which is pointed by this pointer. Okay, now let's see the example that demonstrate the concept of reference counting in shared pointer. So here, for what we are doing, we are creating a smart pointer called PTR, and it is assigned some memory, and that memory is given value 5. So at this time, when you use this use count function, it will give the number of count, basically reference count. So at this time what will happen, it will give you output as 1 because there is only one owner, this PTR, which is holding to this memory. Now if we write code like this, like shared PTR int ptr1 equal to ptr2, and then we try printing this ptr dot use count, at this time what will happen, it will give you output as 2 because now both ptr1 and ptr is pointing to this memory. Okay, so there is two owner of the same memory, so reference count will become 2. So this is how this shared pointer works. Okay, now let's see another example that also demonstrate usage of reference counting. Okay, so in this program what we are doing, we are creating a pointer and which is pointing to some memory location. So at this point, at this line of code, it will give you reference count as 1. So this use count is used to print the reference count of this pointer, which is created using this smart pointer. Okay, now we have open braces and close braces. Inside this, what we are doing, we are also creating a shared pointer, and which is pointing to this already created memory. So now at this time, if you print this ptr dot use count, now it will give you a reference count as 2, because ptr1 and ptr both are pointing to the same memory. So now what will happen, the scope of this ptr1 is within this bracket itself. So now what will happen when this bracket ends, now the scope of this ptr1 goes out. So what will happen now, if you try printing the reference count again, at this time it will give you 1, because the reference count will be decremented as this ptr1 is going out of scope. Okay, so this is how reference counting and share pointer works. So you can say when this scope is going out, all the pointers are getting deleted. Okay, so now let's see some of the function of this share pointer. One function is called reset. So there are two use case of this reset function. Let's see the first use case. The first use case is that it allows us to delete the memory which is holded by this smart pointer. So in this case here ptr is a smart pointer, and when you get this, when you run this line, it will give you some address, that is address of the memory that ptr is pointing to. Now when you say ptr dot reset, what it will do, it will delete the memory which is pointed by this ptr, and then this ptr will be pointing to null. So now this will be ptr will be empty, and when you say ptr dot get, at this time it will give you address as null, because we are deleting the memory. Okay, so you can use this reset function when you want to delete the memory pointed by this smart pointer before it goes out of the scope. Okay, so the final output will be like this. And another use case of this reset function is you can assign the already existing pointer to a new memory. So in this case, if you see, this ptr is pointing to some memory location, and when you run this line, at this time you will get some output like this, that is the address of the memory that this ptr is pointing to. And now what we are doing, ptr dot reset, now what we are doing is that now we are making this ptr to point to another pointer, another memory location. Okay, so at this time when we run this line of code, at this line of code, the output will be like this. So this is different address. So what will happen here at this line of code is that first this ptr memory will get deleted. So the memory to which this ptr is pointing will get deleted, and then now this ptr will be pointing to this newly allocated memory. So this is how you are getting the different address in both cases. And whatever the address I am getting over here, you may get different address, because when you run the program at different point in time and different computer, you will get different output, but you will get some address. Okay, so the final output will be this. Okay, so these are the two use case of reset function. Okay, now let's see another function of this set pointer. So one function is swap. So swap is used to swap the address of two pointer. So in this case ptr is pointing to some memory and ptr2 is pointing to some other memory location. So here what we are doing, ptr1 dot swap, we are swapping the addresses to which this ptr1 and ptr2 is pointing to. So now ptr1 will be pointing to the address to which this ptr2 was pointing, and vice versa. Okay, so now the output of this program will be 27 and 25, because we have swapped the address. Okay, now let's see another function of this set pointer. which is called unique. This is used to determine whether the pointer is unique, that is there is a only one owner of the memory. Okay, so here we have created a pointer which is pointing to some memory. Okay, and we are printing whether this is a unique means there is a only one owner of the memory. So at this point in time, at this line of code, there is only one owner. So at this time it will say ptr unique true, means there is only one owner. Now in the bracket we are creating another pointer, and we are saying this ptr1 equal to ptr2. Now what will happen here, ptr1 and ptr both are pointing to the same memory. So what will happen, there will be two owner. So in this case it is not unique. So the owner is not unique means there are multiple owners. So in this case it will give you output as false. And now this ptr1 scope is gone. So now what will happen, the scope is gone means this ptr1 will be deleted. So now at this line of code it will give you ptr unique, that is true, because now at this time there will be only one owner. Okay, so this is the final output. So now let's see a make shared function that help us to create a smart pointer that is shared smart pointer. Okay, so earlier we saw we can create a smart pointer using shared pointer this way. So now with the help of this make shared function we can create pointer like this, a shared pointer int and ptr1 equal to make shared. So what will happen, this make shared will create a memory and to which this ptr1 will be pointing to. And another way you can create using this make shared is that you just use auto and the name of the pointer and make shared. So in this case what will happen, it will this auto will automatically determine the type. So if you don't know the use of this auto, you can watch my lecture on auto. The link of the video is given in description below. Okay, so this is how you can create a smart pointer with the help of make shared function. Okay, now let's see how you can create array using shared ptr. So here just give the subscript operator and then allocate the amount of memory that you want, and then rest of the operation is normal, like you are uh, storing some value into the array and then you are printing it. Okay, so this is how you can create the array using shared pointer. Okay, so now let's see what is the limitation of this shared pointer. Okay, so here we have a program. Basically here we have a class, and this class have a shared pointer member called mptr, which is of this class type itself, and we have a constructor and we have a destructor. And in main what we are doing, we are creating a smart pointer using this shared make shared of type this person. So at this time we'll get a one pointer which will be pointing to some memory. And now what we are doing, we are making this ptr whose member is mptr pointing to this memory itself, and then we are printing the use count. Okay, so problem with this program is that it leads to a circular dependency. Let's see how. So first, when you run this program at this line of code, it will create a memory for this ptr, means it will point to some memory, and the output of this program will be constructor called and 2, but destructor is not getting called because there is a circular dependency problem which is stopping us from the deleting the memory. Okay, let's see what is happening in this program. So first, at this line of code one memory will be created and this ptr1 ptr will be pointing to this memory. Okay, now at this line of code what we are doing is this ptr member, this mptr, which is the member of this object. Now what we are doing, we are making this mptr pointing to this pointer itself. So now this m pointer is pointing it to itself. So this is kind of circular dependency. So because of this circular dependency, this this ptr will never goes out of the scope. Okay, and the memory will never get deleted. So this is the limitation of this shared ptr. Okay, so we can solve this problem using another pointer called weak pointer, which is also a smart pointer and which is introduced in C++11, and we'll be learning about this weak pointer in next video. Okay, so this is all about shared pointer. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button.